Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Tuesday, the second day of April. I wonder if anybody fell for those April Fool's pranks yesterday from people.
I'm sure some people did.
I'll bet some people did, too. Today is National Reconciliation Day. So for those of you who, pulled the pranks, today's the day to Sam. Sorry. It's also National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day, National Ferret Day, National Equal Pay Day, and it's Sam Day of Action. S-A-A-M, Sam Day of Action.
I wonder what that means.
I'm going to have to Google that one because I don't know. But I do know this. It's a Tuesday, so we have Tuesdays with Charlie. That's where we call and talk to her dad. And I actually had somebody ask me last week, they sent a message like, who is this guy that you talk to on Tuesdays?
It's my dad.
Yeah, so welcome to the party, man.
Yeah, really? Where on earth have you been?
Now, for those of you who don't know, it is a ton of fun. And this all just started one day because we called him about something, and it was so funny that we decided to keep calling him.
We're going to call him every week.
We're doing that every Tuesday now.
He's a hoot.
He really is. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A study by the Canadian Centre for Addiction found that free online casino games may turn teenagers into addicts when they grow up. So apparently these online casinos get you gambling, and you're like, wow, think of how much I would have made if that was real money. And then when you use real money, you're like, look how much I lost now that it's real money. So be careful out there. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website BetterCreditCards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A Florida man has been arrested after allegedly shoving a woman when she wouldn't let him in the house to eat egg rolls. So
I saw this.
Bizarre story. 44-year-old Keith Johnson was drunk at the time, and she told him she didn't want him in her home. And then he kept ringing the doorbell. And she said, just go away. I don't want you here. You're drunk. He wanted to come in and eat egg rolls that were in the house. So the woman told him, I'll bring them out to you. That's when he allegedly shoved her inside the door. The victim told the gentleman that he needed to leave the house, but it wouldn't leave, so she had to call the police. I guess he also slapped her.
He really, really wanted those egg rolls.
Yeah, just a bizarre story. Did I mention he was drunk? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes, you did.
That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Denise Richards says that she invited her ex-husband, Charlie Sheen, to her wedding. And she doesn't even care if he brings an escort as his date. That's not the word they used. I just put escort. Can you even imagine? That would just be so awkward.
Well, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
If they're on good terms, it's a good thing.
Good terms is fine. Another story here. Tom Cruise. He's a Scientologist.
Yes, he is.
Here, I want to make sure that we preface this. I'm not making fun of Scientology at all because I don't understand what it is. I don't know anything about it. But here's the headline. This is the whole story. New report claims that Scientologists consider Tom Cruise to be deity. Okay. Again, I don't understand what that means. I've got a link to the story if you want to read it, but
no, I have no interest.
That's confusing.
I'm good.
To me.
I'm good staying in the dark there.
There you go. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Mister, Scandal with Patti Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Married Chinese woman has given birth to twins who each have a different father. How interesting is that? Twins, two different fathers. I didn't know that was possible.
I didn't know that was possible.
Apparently it is. So I've got a link to the story if you want to read how that's possible.
So the one woman had twins.
One woman, twins, at the same time with two different dads.
How could they be twins then?
I don't know. You can, because they were born at the same time.
Okay, so born at the same time, but they're not twins. I
don't know how this works.
It would be two separate fertilized.
I don't know how this works.
I don't know.
Believe it or not,
interesting.
Heidi, I did not go to med school. Hey, the first international trailer for Toy Story 4 was released in Asia, and that should have been part of our big screen, little screen. How in the world did that get down here? Fertility doctors at the University of Oxford have launched a last-ditch effort to get the white rhinoceros to mate so it does not go completely extinct. And the white rhinoceros is like, hey, I'm playing a game here. Why don't you leave me alone and get me some pizza rolls?
What?
I'm just being silly. Apparently, the white rhinoceros is a millennial.
A gamer?
A millennial gamer. Not interested
in the opposite sex?
In the other white rhinoceroses.
Why don't they just extract what they need and
I don't know.
Inseminate?
I don't. Maybe that's the next step. Once again, Heidi, you may not realize this. I am not a zoologist. A general social survey found that 25% of Americans went the entire year of 2018 without having one encounter with their partner. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Without having any action.
The highest percentage, by the way, of people in America who had no nookie in 2018 were between the ages of 18 and 29. See, I should have read that story first and then the rhinoceros story.
that would have made your joke a little bit better.
I might have. See, yeah. I already knew this, but I hadn't shared that with you guys. Let me just make a note here. Don't do that again. Okay. Veserano Bridge, New York City. It's the bridge in New York City. It's the most expensive bridge to cross. The toll now is $19 to cross that bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Must be something really cool on the other side.
Yeah, New York City. Two Florida men were freed from prison after serving 43 years for a murder they did not commit.
Whoa.
Isn't it amazing the evidence now you can get that exonerates people? I think that is fantastic. And I just don't understand how in the world we're not doing that. And I know they are, because here are some people, but anybody, if they can track down evidence.
Can you imagine having lost
43 years? Oh. That's like your life, man. That's the biggest chunk of your life. Crazy.
There's no dollar amount.
No.
There's nothing that can be done.
No. A New Hampshire man has gone viral for making a surfboard out of Dunkin' Donuts coffee cups. Have you seen this thing?
No.
It's kind of interesting. I've been watching videos of people making bizarre things out of other things, and I think it's kind of cool where they're repurposing things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really neat. It's a cool idea. The Portuguese government, rather. One of the many Portuguese governments. No, it's the one. They denied Madonna's request to bring a horse into a historic castle for her next video shoot. So, what in the world? Why would you want a horse in a castle for a video shoot?
Have you ever seen her videos?
Yeah, they're kind of weird. So that kind of explains. That takes care of itself. One last thing. The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, announced that she will no longer go driving in public following a crash by Prince Philip last month. They're not known to be great drivers. I don't know if you know this, Heidi. They drive on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, I saw a video. I know what I'm talking about. That's going to do it for the Scoop of the Day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights, and we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday, just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
Hi, Charlie. How you doing?
April Fool, all that was yesterday.
Yeah. We are all kind of the April Fools here, though, aren't we?
Well, we're all fools anyway. I don't know about people work.
So what kind of cool stuff we can learn today?
Hey, you drink coffee?
I do. As a matter of fact, I got some here now.
Me too.
I guess I don't. I just looked down.
Hey, did you know that around 40 billion cups of coffee is consumed each year? But you know what?
What's that?
Tea is still the most consumed beverage.
So there's more tea than coffee?
Yep.
Oh, that surprises me.
I like tea. We should maybe switch over to that.
Hey, then, did you know that there are on average of 44,000 thunderstorms on Earth each day?
That's a lot of thunderstorms.
Whoa.
Each day, somewhere in the world.
That is a ton of thunderstorms.
And we might get a little rain here next the end of the week. I don't know.
They say April showers bring May flowers.
And floodwaters.
And floodwaters, that's right.
That's true.
Hey, then, did you know about 98% of the thoughts you have each day are the same thoughts you had the previous day?
Yeah.
I could see that because I think a lot of the same things. Like, okay, time to make the coffee.
Yeah.
Time to get out of bed. You know, all the same things that you think every day.
And besides that, if you're like me and old, you forget anything anyway, so everything is the same.
So it's always a new thought.
Every day. Hey, then, you know who's Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
He relieves stress by soaking his feet in Apple's company's toilet.
He put his feet in their toilets.
That's what it said.
Okay.
Hey, man, whatever it takes, I guess.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that's head of Apple?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Well, that's because he was soaking his feet in the toilet.
You know what they say? Keep your feet out of the company toilet. Wow.
That's bad. Hey, then the world record holder for breaking wooden toilet seats with his head is Kevin Shelby, having broken 48 seats in 1 minute.
48 wooden toilet seats.
Why would that even be a thing?
Somebody did it, and then somebody said, I could do more than that. I'm thinking right now, Charlie, if you put your mind to it, by this time next year, 55 toilet seats.
I think he could have got the record with one. I don't know. Why would you do that?
I know. I don't
Hey.
understand why that's even a thing.
There's a spot in the record book waiting for you, Charlie. If you could just wrap your head around that 55 toilet seats.
Well, in the first place, most of them are plastic anyway, aren't they?
Well, nowadays. But you can still find wooden toilet seats. We only need to
Maybe I'll
find
go-
55 of them.
Maybe I'll go for a record with plastic ones.
Oh, that's probably going to hurt.
Hey, then I got one last thing here for you.
All right, what's that?
Now, here again, this is average, and you know me and you are above average.
Oh, yeah.
And on average, humans release 2 liters of gas per day.
No kidding. 2 liters.
2 liters?
I can do 2 liters by noon.
I was going to say, to me, that seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot to me as well. A lot of this must happen while we're sleeping.
Have you been around me much?
Yeah, I know. You could do that in a half hour. You ready for a question, Charlie?
I think I can get the answer today.
All right. Here's your question. There's a dude that holds the record for having the hiccups for the longest amount of time. He's actually from Iowa. Charles Osborne, Iowa native, started suffering with hiccups, and they lasted for a long time. How long did they last?
Wasn't it something? It was over a year, wasn't it?
It was way over a year, yeah.
6 years?
It's 68 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah, from 1922 until 1990. And all of a sudden in 1990, they just stopped after 68 years of hiccups.
Your whole life would be different after that, wouldn't it?
Oh,
I mean, going
that
that
would be-
long with hiccups. And,
That would be his whole life. That would be
Yeah.
the majority of it.
But I mean, after that, the rest of his life would be different. Like when
Oh, yeah.
they stopped, it's like all of a sudden, what do I,
It's like, hey,
what's going on?
what happened to Charles?
Yeah.
You're not hiccuping. Is that the right proper term to say?
I don't know.
Hiccuping. Well,
Yep.
that's the one.
That'll do. Correct.
His name is Charles Osborne. He was from Iowa, and I'm speaking with another Charles from Iowa right now. So you were mentioning earlier in the program the flooding. Where you're located in Iowa, is there flooding right now or no?
Right now, everything is pretty much done.
Okay, good. Well, that's awesome. Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
We'll do her next week.
Yes,
Bye,
we
Daddy.
will.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cockroaches can live for days without their head. Ew. It's kind of disgusting when you think about
really
that.
disgusting.
Says insects are tenacious, but these insects can actually live for days after having their heads severed. Unlike humans, these pests' brains don't control their breathing, and they breathe through little holes in their body called spirals.
Yuck.
And it says here their heads can survive without bodies, with the antenna moving for hours after decapitation. So, yikes. It's kind of gross. Cockroaches.
That's really gross.
Thanks for listening to this fun fact on the John and Heidi Show.
Here's a fun trip back to the 80s.
Surely you can't be serious.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert May 3rd and 4th. Hang out with other 80s fans.
International language of love.
Meet several 80s icons from the movies and rock out to awesome music from the 80s. Flock of Seagulls, The Romantics, Mr. Scandal with Patty Smythe, Thomas Dolby, Pretty Poison, and more. See the full list of bands and icons at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Heidi, what do you think sideromophobia is? S-I-D-E-R. Let me try that again. S-I-D-E-R-O-D-R-O-M-O-P-H-O-B-I-A. Boy, that's a long one. Sideromophobia.
I have no idea.
It's a fear of trains or railroads or train travel.
I never ever would have guessed that one either.
That's not what I would have guessed either.
That's crazy. Where some of these, I
don't know where the words come from.
Yeah.
Somebody just makes them up, I think. It's like, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of trains. And they look in a book. We don't have one for that yet.
I mean, a lot of times I can kind of figure it from the root word. Like,
not today.
But no, that one is
bizarre.
completely foreign.
Today's fun with phobias.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Authorities say a Florida man did not want to show up for his shift at Hardee's, so he called 911 and reported that he had just been robbed. Says here, 32-year-old Brian Anderson of Dundee told dispatchers that two gun-carrying men took his necklace, his money, and his phone before jumping into a car and driving away. Sheriffs went to the scene and quickly realized that a robbery never happened. In a Facebook post, the agency said Anderson confessed, adding, quote, on the bright side, Brian didn't have to go to his 11 a.m. shift at the restaurant, end quote. He's charged with misusing the 911 system and knowingly giving false information to law enforcement.
I wonder how they found out. He probably made the call from his cell phone that was supposedly stolen.
I don't know. I don't know how they caught him, but apparently that is illegal there. So,
well, it's illegal everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Thanks for listening to the Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Police in Missouri are investigating an unusual incident that occurred at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It says here, 2 employees became dizzy and shaky and didn't know why.
Oh.
They were taken to urgent care, transferred to Mercy Hospital. That's when a 19-year-old employee admitted that he put LSD in their water.
Oh, my gosh.
And the third employee's coffee cup. So he did it, two co-workers' water bottles, a third employee's coffee cup. And they were saying, hey, why did you do that? He goes, hey, man, they were giving off a lot of negative energy.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I hope he's in jail.
Enterprise workers were okay, by the way, after the effects of the drugs wore off. No charges filed.
Are you kidding?
Let me finish. No charges filed until lab tests are done on the water, but the suspect could face charges of second-degree assault and possession of a controlled substance. So, yes, he'll most likely be charged. They just need to prove
better
that that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
So, bad idea. Don't do that. That's why it's today's Moment of Duh.
Is your credit card a good fit for you? How did you even get the card you have now? Was it mailed to you? Those are usually the worst cards. They typically have higher fees and rates. Someone has to pay all that postage to mail out millions of cards every day. If you like a better credit card, check out the website bettercreditcards.net. This is a great place to find the cards that are usually a better fit for you. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these 3 things. Heidi, tell me, what do these 3 things have in common? And each one of these is like this plus a word. And it's the same word.
Okay.
I just want to make
another
sure.
Another one of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Door, Pulitzer, and booby,
Price.
Yeah. I can't believe I just said that word on the radio.
I was going to say knob.
No. Pulitzer knob? That doesn't make sense.
No, but the other 2.
Would you stop it? Why do I can't believe I walked right into that one. Oh, these 3 things. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com. It is 1 month from now that this event will be happening in Las Vegas, Nevada. The event is called 80s in the Desert. A lot of 80s bands and 80s television and movie stars going to be there, and yours truly will be there as well, also along with my beautiful bride over here, Heidi. And if you'd like to get all the details on this event and all the info, it's at RadioTravelGroup.com. You ready for some good news, Heidi?
Always.
Take a
ready
listen
for
to
good
this.
news.
Here's the headline. A billionaire says he's going to reward this grandmother for helping with cyclone victims. And this is what the grandmother did. This is just an absolutely amazing story. A 70-year-old woman walked 10 miles to help cyclone victims. And there's a picture of this lady on here.
Holy
She's
cow.
70. She's carrying this giant bag on her head. And she's, balancing it on her head, holding it with her hands.
Holy cow.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
So it says the grandmother may have a new lease on life after a billionaire philanthropist caught wind of her determination to help the cyclone victims. The woman's name is Placidus Gogo Dillon. She goes by Gogo, G-O-G-O. She's used to walking long distances around her home for work. 70-year-old widow makes a living by waking up every morning at 4 a.m. so she can travel across the region selling clothing. She had just made it back to her home in Zimbabwe earlier in the week when she heard about the cyclone that happened not too far away. The storm, which currently was being regarded as one of the worst tropical cyclones to hit the southern hemisphere, blew through parts of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. Upon learning of the aftermath of the storm, she immediately filled a bag with kitchen supplies and clothes that she had intended to resell so she could bring these to the people who had the disaster.
Right.
And it says, except because she didn't have any money for a bus, she walked for 10 miles so she could bring the supplies to a church there. Isn't that amazing?
That's great.
They highlighted the good deed by posting a photo of her with this massive supply of stuff that she was carrying over her head. And when this...
For 10 miles
Yeah.
she walked like that.
When this went viral all over the place, there's a billionaire who read this that said, that is absolutely awesome. And he says he's going to give her a monthly allowance of $1,000 per month for the rest of her life.
Which is huge
Yeah,
there.
especially where she lives. That's
Yes.
a big deal
I mean,
anywhere.
that's a big deal
cool.
anywhere, but that is huge where she is. That's
I think
life-changing.
That is just absolutely amazing. And where she's living, this is going to be a big impact on her life, but I can tell you,
She can be a huge blessing to many people.
I was going to say,
that.
just when you look at the character of the person we're talking about, I guarantee you that's going to help many people in her area. So what a cool story. I have a link to that in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.